Roma ana abuaye Bayport nti anope mpacho usika no emfaso bebre na no ana beba so ede amao se utie ma no pay ya mpacho Bayport Adaroma ene ubetimi abeye investment usika ene wo mfaso e beba no bebre pa se utie mi wo 5,000 Ghana cedis and above ano pay ya mpacho bra na woni Bayport savings and loans emeye adwuma emomfa usika no ebeto ho na wamone obetena se ayen hyehyeye na afei interest esese ba usika ne so nyina no etimi aba ede amount and pay over 50 branches across the nation and a Bayport ye adwuma ede free ho utie mi a Bayport office bi e ben obi a no mpacho ubetimi abo eremo anope na wone womo akwa akokodin komo womo beje so pa de opese wo ye bia no ko na wone womo enkodin komo on kran ene ne mpache mu ampache obekọ kokomlemle ATTC school no enchen hwa na wone eye Bayport savings and loans edin komo ede free ho womo beje so na afenhyehyɛ bia wo ho no watimi edi so pepepe ebeboa na ebema osika nso enyi ede amount anope for womo na woni wo moni nkomo on 0245 153283 0245 153283 and after 0263 007 922 0263 007 922 na woni Bayport savings and loans eni enkomo anope womo ebeje wo sopa na Obatampa prostate center for Adaroma nti pacho prostate related challenges ni nyina no anope womo eyi ni nyina no e de free wo so oye bema 30 years and above ekone ni mono pacho o challenges with urination anope Obatampa sabra womo behwe eyi ni nyina no e de free ho e de amount eno achi no oyobi a ya show catheter e wo bema mu a pacho ebrenu ni se obetemi ene Obatampa prostate center for edin komo omo beje so na omo yi ohaw ni nyina no e de free ho e de amount wa edra na dwo a wojo so tentem ojo nso aya na wunya atenkase ebi akam ni nyina no amba anope akwanya no enie se wonso obe correct sa niema ekoso within your body system enti bra Obatampa prostate center for asoye womo ebeje so na womo yi ni nyina no e de free ho amba pacho fifi prat last stop e wo kaso nyanya no main road no eso anope okwa ofa wosen ene na pamfo no ebeje so na afi wo motimi afhwo e wo kwan sonko so oni wo eni enkomo on 0553 800678 0553 800678 na oni Obatampa prostate center for eni enkomo anope prostate last stop eya ha enti anope bra na woni womo enyankicha hodie womo ebeje so oposi ni na dro no eye imbustable mixture anope opese boost immune system na hode sonko eba oni peduem na okoditia yaredom ni nyina dia esese imboost nroi ana oma wonsa ekebi womo ebeje wo so ye pa pacho baby a wo be across the country herbal shops ahodo ebe woni nyina no odu ho a imboost nroi obenya bi ato akwako yisu eno echi no se wotie mi a obekọ pharmacies ahodo ni nyina no obenya bi ato eyisu imboost nroi e boost immune system no ma ho na makwa na ekotia yare ni nyina no enya ahoden sonko e de ye omadwuma esese wo mo eye anope for imboost for on 0246 208496 0246 208496 na oni imbustable mixture eni enkomo anope womo ebeje wo so pa
Kessben 92.9 Asidan Kwa
Yes. Yes.
Baba.
Another visa.
Oh, me want to tell you, Kwame. And phobia some bonnet. Just a Ghana had one more drinks on Messi Sound. Who's a Ghana? One who's had the night. Yabu be decent, your core baby. And I saw Moose in the pay in the petty troop. Near Sassia, you see the fake accounts. Your creative accounts are mano. You fake.
You for the
Facebook for no. And Janon be chow. But who has oh, me na me way. Me mo adwuma me na me yewe me de nkrofo akwabrochire Ghana for money na ho and banfo asa say e create Facebook fake account na Kwame me papa me ama de nyina ya de nyina honorable Andy Okra or say okra. I know I said the aboni dia say Kessben ha ye ka amanfo tia papa. And no ya amanfo ko create Facebook account amano.
Oh sir.
I tell some why you know, CEO, First Commission, and all the pictures are to a First Commission for pictures be Google actually.
Oh, boys, no more one
yesterday. Now, Mr. Kwame here. Unsa on the Facebook account, no real one.
Yeah.
Andy O Okra. Wow.
Yeah.
No, I'm also the no Andy O Okra. No, Momo Diano, oh, no, the doctor see him and son of Okra neighbor. It's the difference on the patch out. So who said Andy O Okra dot Okra no ba patch on the Facebook account.
Okay.
Obia ka bibia ignore men ko. Obia nya on ka so o mo obia djuma ka so ofo obia djuma. Fake for the fake djuma on Facebook. Te momo ni na ho.
Okay.
Enti ne de no original one no Andy O Okra. Ana akronfo no so de ne Andy O dot Okra. It's difference o mu no.
Okay.
Enti o mo nsa ne so Kwame. Obi bia so ombe e bia na nyon nko a ya bon krofo bebedin bebrebe sase a create sawe.
O be create.
Enti de mam no tip of the mama no pen mo hwe yie. Anopa bia be de bebre mo.
O come obi be yo say na between 1,500. Between 5,000. Me do be call national security. Me do be call immigration. Me do be call police. Obo scammers na. Omo sister landing. For no omo na sister landing. It's all for so na dia. Oh bra, wa account no code no. Na ya o group no me say group ni din no. Omo didi wuni.
Wuni ado na. Say what say be kan was one tan ha. Oko. On the June ma 1003. I said the other young class I can say what Jimmy was am patch of me Jimmy pa.
I want to be
no. So unfortunate. And tempanano also omo ya no wa mu awo mo. And was o mo fa mo nsam fo no so ho. No di ho matam a. Azo mo so ha ni ade na we na later o wie ya no. Also ko checking accounts na hwe so mo yi a. O check ya na. Averi akwade friend hey bra say music and was ai say all is waiting me pa was but am ya we it was on money now
dey go amra do
money now ya ga see abeka so ntena akro was on kono cause na wura ho sempa mu de di no
Ozo so be you.
Ozo be you.
Ozo so.
No me smart.
Ombe.
Yes, so me prison for but me nyini.
Ombe.
Hey. Omo ya smart o. This to London. It's all mas jai ho no. We jai ho no kra ma
je. We kra de momo no me jai ye how.
Sa. Oh, but na dey down to me nyaye.
Oze.
O be dey jai ye.
O dey be see am ni akọ.
Sa. Ana kam dey kakra tu mama we.
Dey be me fa ba.
Azem ko yiba.
Fashion.
Sa.
Momo no grofo sredodo
isa hu to so anasa asa ibosum sisto
mejaye
enye izo eduma mani na ho Kwame ai anopo mu ani na ho pa nya sa dia enye
no problem very well Kwame mame na say why mame nko ahoma no so na me nko ye adwuma emra na endra yenua vomawo echo appointment committee no any mamene Orua Vitus Azim any nkomo emra. He is an anti-corruption campaigner na adope. Let me speak to him. Mr. Vitus Azim, if you can hear me, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Trust you're doing well.
I'm doing well.
Very well. So once again, thank you very much for your time with us. We are grateful you joined us this morning. But first of all, yesterday, Oliver Vomawo appeared before the appointment committee to basically substantiate some level of allegations made against the appointment committee. It turned out that, I mean, there was no evidence to buttress whichever claims he made. Now, we've had the opportunity of listening to former members of the same committee, I mean, who have done some level of work in time past. Let me hear you and then your views as well on this particular development and as to how we can curb some of these allegations, plus the many more perceptions that Ghanaians are holding about the work of the committee.
Well, you see, what he said was just what is a general perception out there. Many people have that perception, although nobody has voiced it out until he did. But Parliament, they say, is an august body. And when you put something like that on Facebook, it could be interpreted to mean that you want to embarrass the House. And so I think that's why they invited him to appear and provide evidence. But you see,
Kessben.
Corruption in Ghana, when it comes to one aspect of it, bribery, is that the giver and the receiver are both guilty. So it's not easy to provide evidence of corruption.
Okay.
If neither of them reported at the time of the incident and when we read. So Vamo couldn't have given any hard evidence because none of the key players, if it happened, would have been willing to come forward and say, yes, I was the one who offered the gift. And for the one who received the gift card, I say, yes, I received the gift. Besides, in the same way, bribery is sometimes given through agents. So even if some money was passed through an agent to the vetting committee member or members, you can still not pinpoint any of them accusing the person of having taken the money. He would definitely deny. So it was a difficult task for Vamo. And I think the best way out was to say you are sorry. But like the vetting committee said, if he had gone to any of the people listed, our institution listed under the Whistleblower Act, and made the report, then it could have been investigated by the appropriate institution under that law. Unfortunately, he didn't do that. You see, but it's not just him alone. Many people have discussed this on Facebook. And it's not just the ninth parliament that we are talking about. For a long time, this perception is out there. But some may not have any grounds.
Yes, the question will also be that, how do we substantiate some of these claims? Generally, if these are the perceptions of Ghanaians, and the fact that people will not have the real hard evidence to buttress whichever claims they make, then forever the corruption tag is still going to remain like this, because until you are able to prove with, hard documented evidence, people will always go through these processes and then at the end of the day go scot-free because it will still remain a perception.
Yeah, so I've said that you blow the whistle to an appropriate person, and then that person will refer the matter to an appropriate institution to investigate. If that person is investigating, you can have, for example, witnesses being compelled to appear and testify on oath. Then the truth will come out. Otherwise, if you are a regional coordinating director, in the first place you are a public servant who has sworn an oath of secrecy. So even if you were asked to pay monies to the committee, you will not be bold enough to come forward and say, yes, I paid the money to this particular person.
But
that's the problem.
Yes, in your line of duty, have you ever come across any of such situations where, we make the allegations, we blow the whistle to the appropriate institutions for further investigations, and then by their own assurances, they've gone through or conducted the investigation and then come out with a substantive report, giving us the details of whether or not, those allegations were true. Now, the question again will remain, we've had several instances in this country where even upon approval of MMDCs, we are told that such candidates pay monies to assembly members before they endorse them. Like was last 4 years or a few years ago, you heard some of such nominees, who claimed they paid certain amounts. And even up to today, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has not been able to give us that adequate report that will allow the entire nation to know whether or not, there was some level of truth in those perceptions. So, how do we deal with some of these things substantially, knowing very well that presumably it occurs, I mean, on a regular basis.
It's very difficult to deal with it substantially because both parties are involved or are affected. For example, the vetting committee is made up of members from both parties. Each of the committees in Parliament are made up of people from two separate parties. And so, even if it involves one party at a time, they may not be ready to pursue it. And as I said, and I'll say again, you report to the appropriate institution or person listed under the Whistleblower Act. Then they can start an investigation. They can compel witnesses to appear and swear on oath before they provide evidence. That's the only way I think we can.
But generally, were you impressed with the performance of the committee and the manner in which they handled Vomao yesterday?
See, my problem is the committee was the accused person. And they constituted themselves into a court of law to investigate it, or is it to prosecute him?
Or an allegation concerning the same committee.
Yes.
So more or less, they were the same judges in their own court.
Yeah, that was inappropriate. But Parliament has been doing this since, holding people before the Privileged Committee of Parliament, people who are not parliamentarians. And that is not fair. There's no fair play in it, and they need to change. If they want to actually cleanse their image of such allegations in the future, they need to always refer the matter to an appropriate body, independent of of Parliament or at least the committee to investigate.
Now, on the other hand, before I just wrap up with you, the former chairman to the same committee, I mean the appointment committee, former member of Parliament for Bekwai and former deputy first speaker of Parliament, Joseph Osei-Wusu, last night is on record to have said that to a far extent, nobody can induce the appointment committee in terms of how they do their work. But in previous years, what the practice has been is the fact that, I mean, the chief of staff used to give them some amount of money after they have done their work as a committee. Now, a lot of people are raising concerns as to why the committee will be remunerated after a work done by the chief of staff. That should not be the normal practice. So, to a far extent, that is some level of inducement on the part of the chief of staff and then on the part of the committee. And this is coming from a former chairperson of that same committee who have been, allegedly claim that they take bribes to approve some of these nominees who appear before them. Now, how do you respond to this assertion? Because he spoke on PM Express last night on Joy News.
Yes, you see, that's why I've said that the impression is out there. And if the chief of staff can do that, then it's more or less institutionalizing that practice. Because that's the work of parliamentarians. We've elected them to sit there and perform certain duties spelled out in the Constitution. And vetting nominees of the president are part of that work. If there's a need to pay the overtime, it has to be Parliament.
Okay.
From their budget and not from the chief of staff. You see, and especially when at the end of the day, virtually every nominee scales through. Even with the case of the last vetting, when certain people were tagged and their vetting held on to, later when they all came and they were all allowed to go.
Yes.
So why won't people just believe and accuse the government of being complicit in this matter?
But should that really be the practice where you have a chief of staff donating to this particular committee upon the approval of the nominees?
But that's what I've just said. If the chief of staff does that, he or she is institutionalizing this practice, which is corruption.
Okay.
What is the reason for paying that money? For doing a good job, approving all his president's ministers. Is that why? Then there's no point to have a vetting committee. Parliament should just sit on the floor of the house and say, oh, we've passed all of them. It's from the president, especially when this government has a good majority in Parliament. But you still go through all this, and yet people find it necessary to influence. You know, there was one case where I don't remember the year, when it was alleged that monies were given to the committee by, some said a businessman, some said a foreigner, and that kind of thing.
Yes, I remember.
The investigators saw some of the parliamentarians came out to testify. But it ended nowhere. So how can we? Parliament has oversight responsibility over the executive. So if the executive is engaged in something that is untoward, that can be described as corruption or at least bribery, then how are they able to monitor other people? And to pass effective laws to protect the public purse? So definitely it's wrong.
Very well. Mr. Azim, I'm grateful for your time this morning. Once again, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Okay. Bye.
Thank you. That is Vitus Azim, anti-corruption campaigner, speaking to us at Opay. And Oliver Vomawo appeared before the appointment committee. The outcome of it, but Ura Joseph was to say, I mean, in time past, nobody comes to pay bribes to the committee and its members. But as former chairperson of the committee, in time past, I had the AC and say, one more year, chief of staff, etimi ebro omosika na afe members ningina no etimi ache. Now, as to whether or not, say, some level of inducement, the former auditor general has said that is bribery. I mean, Yetuaoka as a member of parliament on monthly basis. Again, parliament, when the budgeter or this supporting committees, ejuma one more a year. Now, is it budgeted for, say, chief of staff, ebetimi afasika, the office of the president, the committee members, say, bonye moye wajuma ewi. I mean, does it really answer the reason why Obia and wa appear before the appointment committee? Yakasi Wade, or you're competent for the position he's been nominated for. Now, all the time, what we have seen in time past and by practice, to a far extent, and they say Obi Obeko Hobiano, whether the questions are whatever, I mean, they all get approved at the end of the day. Baby or more, so mokoshe ye jumano na ya momo akwa koshe akwa ye juma. 3 minutes after 8, mabeja fono atinase anope mame Emma lawyer kwesi achi na memana kwaba former spokesperson to the Minister of Education. Because imagine, never to say,
yes, you need to know so.
Eradi am kwache, Yanso Yahoyepa. Because he's a member of the New Patriotic Party and then he does communication for the party. And I don't pay what to say. Na Mema Ali Ibrahim of the NDC actually. Na Mema Nakwaba. Ali, good morning, everything.
Good morning, many of you, man.
Eradi Adom. O microphone, the brow and him
kakra. Okay, say
yeah. Party what to say, the Biabo called there.
Said the Wawa, me be a court tot, a camia quest, Obiania Juo, Ghana Memoha, because of say Yana Banfufro. President John Dramani Mahama approval rating here so high, not mean Hununasa. But Camia quest, especially Mebuno, a Mebuno do na GS, Yana President Bia, Sabi, or Babe Mac. Presidents na ayakono we MPP for communicators the do na ebo John Dramani Mahama baso said ye was see especially appointment here kosui oma mebuno no opportunity no amana ya neje bebre mejiri ye say menu abe ma kwase kwati eti he so on the one reservation about one or two things but said ye abanya san ashase no with the appointment ne said the mambo no koso ni te the nyoma essay koso no bibi a kire wo say President John Dramani Mahama 4 years yeah ya di amano nya de a obe waste no on waste no said ye hunu mre bi ya de 8 years e she bi nsa a 7 pedua sa ekoye time waste ye hunu bi fa so bia ama free so ama eno nte na Ghana for ekoto santene unprecedented in the annal histories of this country omotimi echire omo bibi kakre bi. I mean, such an embarrassing defeat. Me now say about to abay ye be win, but I didn't know say the margin gap ye hunu ye sa de beko. So I was so surprised. Say, hey, Ghana for hu na ba omiane nam no okoha no mo boje ne so no omo boje ne so ti na de na omodwire nyina e wo mutrim, especially Ashanti region. Me Ashanti region. Ashanti region na me share communication ase ansa na me bank line. Asante for onhu bomia kwa Asante ma especially Kumasi kejeti ya behwe mai. So mo prapra na so mo boje ne so sana de omodwire nyina ehihyo mutrim. Sana omodwene se papai. Ya wa na manetrima ye ne de. Ni a kire ne sampa economy na de share ne nsa no as head of economic management team no. Wantimi amboa emanyo nkoso. Yadi economy nyina ehye wonsama president Akufo-Addo na ba monte beka say me eba economic issues amenya de timi the economy ye wa Ghana nyina ehye wonsa as head of economic management team dollar na mo beto no 4 cedis no bomodi ana twena enko 1 cedi 20 pesos na say 1 cedi bi na bom ba me free so na ekọ 17 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
18 cedis kwa na be the edges are so hu enti with such an economic management na wo susu se Ghana for sebi preduasa ye nwene nti ye sanfa a presidency the mount na kokum ye preko.
Okay. So, Ali, let's about so be 6 after 8. This is Kessben. Pacho sharing so mami sir your numbers in 0550567 929 0550567 929 and no any numbers are no pay ye de juma on WhatsApp and SMS and obetime the messages no about we are live on Facebook on Kessben TV and Kessben FM 92.9 handles ni me nyina no juma anopay. But I'll begin with Kwesi Kwachen Council because anopay said kase I mean from last week here but there's been a lot of controversies about the total number of beneficiaries from September 2017 free SHS SHS no. In fact, the padodo a enya somfaso and ankwala dodo enya somfaso omo a go through school every any figures now okwa and pay graphic and so by quite an interesting number but remember kwesi so he has worked with the ministry na yen clarify niema no na membisa no kwesi match ma men share in free so in free ho they bebre aba figures he ho sir
eminya me da se ma men chia biona menua ale mana kwaba ebize bi ni nsia na menua obi ato abawie na anopa no pawezo ai musese mu aban mu munya ya djuma maye na muso munya madjuma sese menua ale nkoma wodi na so mu da so opposition ese tumi na wonzemu ana ye ba enche sisi a de na mpese djuma maye no. And now, last week, I'm telling videos so can say when you goodwill. No.
Exactly.
Changing I support no. Na modi and penny for se banche nya ija na be dey e be kire. It is a musi nya abaya to for public game to the 9 times. 92 96 2000 2004 2008 2012 2016 2020 for nya to 9 times. Party banko. Yes, after 8 years, be and news on the say 8 years ago, bright 2 moon, and 7 yanka. What I say, a soft one movie cry or my home, what I say, or no offended say, will be 32 years and Sana Maba. It look like I said, President John Macquarie would be president that. And he say, no, Mummy on focus. Not more Juman, more promises are more shep bono. And the obesi, Sebio, what I say. What I say?
No, that for me, you are right.
Let me, now your chen Munyami am when we offer. Who say it we say that from tip. And he said the money a day and pipe water, which is a most some more canina near better taken one by one. I heard some no committees and so ya also. We can ammonia Juman. Mamma for committee and council because you see, more Ghana. Inti say free as a double track and one summer. munim the state of education in Ghana mo baba mu pay ana munim the ekwoso so ana mo promises am be double track ahead every ho enwane ho asem no you need the state ana mo promises am be ma nkwara mo beje adwana my headmasters on the economy promises am make you on the economy na you need the state of the economy one in variables macroeconomic indicators forest and money at one in enti nema ban the can say committees no want to na monya dwuma
oh committees be no matete o monte so
oh say almost on better unka so matter committee almost on be economic forum wani
oh but say no there it's a promise within the first 120
say over
say I mean they will put a team together to organize that national
and review that make sense
review the constitution
review as and have what to say committees also committees mo hwe so na
but say adwuma ya no mo dey ana
oh many problem but
make constitutional review dey
make sense you made a promise and based on the promise in the nipa here dey etrabama me ba me yewi me susu say wo here review ansana what other corners na the promise in a vacuum promise na nim dey okay but I mean
so which of the committees are you referring to?
No make sense say almost so matter committee a ebehwe ECG crowd privatization commission committee committee
omo ate dada nye
ewrade yesu
enye so of no mo bet
na ba ko so na ko mo sa ba ko to mo se Ghana water and so mo hwe no ma privatize after ECG and the committee beba
Ghana water
oh no papa no beka na economic one forum ana haruna so obeba ya hwe auditing and isa nkoma e be no so obepe obejokwa mo mahwe wan hwe ya ho me se face ya ne be so ni ati committee sisa because another sabio yehu omoda omo da enya de foforo ana nya oka na MPP ya 20 MPP no hwe ya gitum adwobro ebuo kwa so ahombrase kwa so kasade kwa so ya manfo asabi eburu wonu hu se party ne nhihye anasa ban na nhihye bi wo ho a so chima enu ntino ebufo kakra wo ho a obu okra so ane bia otie na danfo asem obu osukwa no onim se agira kono obu okra na ntimi ndese wo hwe kwa kowini ne mo hwe de ekonyina abato e 2 ye party for person mo kasem ye de e kire yate asopam ebetie ne boku aso ya de next time no ye siesie ye hu ye na ye ho ayakono na emu mu na mo hwe mo hu ye
ase committees na doors
ase mu na ase mo wini ababi bra about voters register no voters register na increase by 1.87 million. It is a Ghana for endorse do asem do papa o de kasa 1.87 million. These are new people who went to register ordinarily. You expect them to vote because be additional register be akoka ho be ayo be o na just so ye dey oto aba wo enyam 1 million. This vote cost 7 million. Votes are appreciated from 2020 by was only 100,000. Yeni votes to take by 1.7 million, which presupposed to say Ghana for endorse so pass or more power memo no do say omo gidi oma and we are expecting about 7 million plus. Even what the new voters registrants no account and call for far you should be getting close to 9 million. Amanasa votes 2020 compare appreciated just around 100,000. I say mutimu yemo dadodo and I know me can be chair me a uraja is bawa almost so 7 million and some say mutimu yemo dadodo no ni edu ye ho ni yes na nya lesson ba ko pe no ma wini out of 9 lessons I had to nya ba ko no ma wini ase mo carry mo
wo atwe mu more than 1 million votes.
Oh na say be ofu bia na
2016 mu si munya 1 million we ni 1.5 1.6
speaker na say ofu
bia vote nti mo atwe mu I mean
speaker mi say ofu dia speaker mi say ofu dia na ofu osi bokwa so wasi what you so election ni say ni say dispute ne mo we say wo mo nto mo boas trimude na ya doso enu boy ya ko NYE o mfese Basintele why onu se be na contest you say
na woka no why
NYE Osman Arga Basintele the onse onu mene na contest you say Argentino no asem ka no se be se pane kunina haba wakwa eminua nti eno mane bi wo ha ana se bi so
when you student politics ni bi
metiase na unse so wo ya ba mu a memi tuwe se mesen no Basintele se Basintele be 2 years Basintele nya se 29 se 30 enti sebio no mani bi wo ha sebio ede ya woko nanim no no trimudeni kakra o so bete but aside that there o eminua sebio nyankopon bi kwa ede ama me dem bible be ede e beta na chi so when am don dey business no ba akwi Osman Yarege nipa wo kwa adwuma yi ba akofo wo kwa adwuma no ye de lanku sese ko be 11 na say modest government na mo ntomo boase me kwa kan no bi a tro say enye abanka na so yate. Well, I mean, sometimes it's the optics. Optics na yebo President Mahama ba so e bia no because oka so for 60 ministers. If you look at how things are going, ampa otumi ye dey eyo except to say akwai say what the bankum the man no the faje 60 ministers so be na presidential staff is better. O send your omo di wi.
Oh, the presidential staff is not.
Oh, the link government so wi. Link government so wi. One so on wi the government. One constitution the government. You be fit the be June war no. And be who say the number of government ni. But link government no what the bankum the man no the fire the age. And in any case, link government does not necessarily ensure efficiency. And the complaints na mo near about radio so say mo mi take mo poster no. Near mo putu wo mo toes. Hey, and no kwatara ha. Ana Akufo Addo na say so wo so mo te oboase ha na no ya ma kotutu to abom. Ayi na no resource of family. Mo kra mo beka bi galam say ni ade ekoso. So, a minor problem no Eddie no. A member no Eddie. Maybe a Ministry of Education. I had the opportunity to work there just for 3 years. Hey, and so many be why you can't a bedroom maybe one I just a chop by the ebem. The do no passa. Many one come to me say be gumiti. Makacho said the problems and the challenges confronting us as a state, you know. Systemic.
And the expectations are too high.
Too high, right?
In solving those challenges.
Yes, my example. Who you NDC sympathizer, right? What we MP be what 3 terms. First 2 terms, you know. Why you campaign 8 years?
Now opposition.
Now opposition we in that race. They say about 10 term. By our president so offer 60 appointees. 60 appointees, you know. Were you regional ministers say the FM 16 got me boy. Abeka 44. 44 no. So for 60% to cry free parliamentar. I say 26. Me boy. Now intinipa 26 out of 183. Who can say if you do go problem ma?
So you select the best of the best.
And I'm just say, amanyo semo aye na amanyo semo say bi wenye I mean even in doing good we do good to look good. There is always an interest. What I say na make us say the context is obi o adwuma 8 years. No say bi o pe baby aye dey ase. Amanyo say ye kwo anim. Abrabo ye monko anim. Na wa ba na out of 183 per 26. Okra independent for an asa beka ho. Why ali tuwi one appointment ni bi. Ayi papa titi kata no so ka na kabe titi kata no wo mo yina bo hopum me se papa pa me ne ye campaign na sabre me ne ye ko radio no okura sabre na me se no ho mfa ne kakra mo sabre na me ne Richard wa Accra FM ne ade no okura ofene say okura walking stick but say there has not been a single day akwa radio so me started communication bu equality no mu ne ade ko de ka fa me ebu akwa emu nya ko timi ka se kwase ka me se wo po onko fo mefi was oh chia ya baba e che na minya Ministry of Education ko ye was oh chia we your post wo dey here na be position wo dey here na be position na titi kata na order from team
titi enya appointment crowd onya appointment but for babies and he was here maybe sir
me so mo fi no
was on no baby business
obey the business o boy no open fa what the can business no business na say ke wa ba ko ye business that business dey usika na dey me ba zoom lion ti we o hia say baba ababa so the business me so appointment no mo fa man ton titi ayemobo me afekwa de na asem kwa asem me no hoye mobo kwa mpese me kemma we dey be sere President Mahama titi wonye mbusuani me fra asante ache titi bi so enkran ni me boa akwa na bre filita mo ko MP ni ade ni mu yare ni ade nyina me se ne titi wa ayemobo enu ne ade esa mo dwe ho ali wutu o mama ade
say ya ka say zubi
mama catch direct and ye hu mama catch direct say obi ani ho a o sorry o bibi ya abemo beta TV so ni radio so mako na aduane se wanuma o de
na de o party ba be ma no ejai community
o say
o party ba be ma we ejai community
o ye minister sa pa committee ali tu
ba say o kura na ye adwuma ba say na
me say me na ye adwuma e say mo bro wa ye party wa be ma party ni abamu na papa me na me catch direct say and na me ye mo de hu ni bio tira o betra he wonya ahwe me say e komo de say me am say na titi aye me see titi na mo mama catch titi kata no ka me kata no acha wa wita na bojo betwa ni nyina
na go si na de titi kata no ayo dey
na me dey
no be o kra de say o ba
oh yeah, but if when I'm addressing free education issue, but I mean the fundamental point that I'm making is that they should manage their expectations. They should really manage their expectations because say even within them, people are not satisfied, and people will not be satisfied, and that is a reality. And the idea about to be also by a 24-hour economy. because you yourself you don't even believe in that policy. Adwuma also be 24 economy di nyuma be mamu be run shift 3 times me boa. Oko civil service be run shift 3 times. Oko hospital be run shift 3 times. And that's na 24 economy mo
Yeah.
Wo GD o 24 economy ma. Oba ko je 2M express se ko jo mo basis. Oba ko je ECG se ko pam workers afiro. Oba ko GR Magdan onu ane private company adan salt. Oba ko akọ se ko pam wo mo. Who need GD of 24 economy? And that is a problem able by also no moka. Where idea ever tunk of we no. Me say Ghana for me say Sabano, it will to more than 1.7 million difference. Me na make a me say man we year 2024 more than 2.5 million the beko position. Now my through na me address a subsequent issue on a Haruna Dusu as some kind. And I think say mo fidie second platform I'm breaking the news and I may make it that clarification. Now, and they say, so because figures, free SHS figures, and yet 5.7 million, nipa koloni atro, and yet 5.7 million.
Okay.
And the Ministry of Education, as Ministry of Education, Bram Yedmo, you in fact figure beyond to about 5.7 million.
Okay.
And free SHS by it increased access. But every year, you have an average of about 400,000 students and no money kwenya yede echo. We had the cumulative value for 2017 be seen now October yomukoye a new 5.7 million. But we was say didn't 5.7 million about. Now speaker, Ministry of Finance, one more as part of their financial budgeting approach and asset technique. One more calculate for the release of money the Ministry of Education. The one say so mobile first year, speaker say who first year.
Yes.
First year no for budgetary purposes you will release amount. So we are beneficiary wo. Second year, we start from 2 yes I release sika de amount the show. Third year say release sika de amount the show. And you the first time some number see a found no expression in any national document. The 2024 budget media budget review in the 2024 budget statement no. Because for Ministry of Finance, one more budgeting for the accounting and budgetary purposes no there. One more treat each person be as beneficiary 3 times.
Okay.
Because year be no release come or treat you as a beneficiary. And you
because already know what system nim.
What system nim.
Okay.
And the Ministry of Finance be who be also a beneficiary like 3 times. That is what the cumulative effect gave us the 5.7 million. Now the question say, one more the year more budget no.
Yeah.
And the same number figure no mu use here no. Fortunately and unfortunately, found expression in President's State of Nation address. But you see, say a tron no be there. Ministry of Education, oko your website, oko your data, oko your official correspondence bia. In fact, 5.7 million bianto because 5.7 million how will we be able to account for it? Because the every year in year out no enrollment no and out there yeah akola bia uramu first year. Ye fan say no uramu first year kopim so obeyo eni pa baako. Because here the numbers in the head, yeah, kind. Name go this sika ba no more sika first year or kind so more sika. Second year or more sika or kind. Third year or kind or more sika. So the right figures using the yearly enrollment data no, 3.5 million. It's never 5.7. But the 5.7 million was the technique and the budgetary technique that Ministry of Finance uses. The calculation. Which fortunately and unfortunately found expression in the president's speech. And we did so much the
president's speech, no one true yeah
no, that's what I'm saying. So even if they quote it, any wrong go.
Okay.
But what the president's speech should have done, no, should have clarified it.
Exactly.
Clarify. Yeah, clarify because I say you can't 5.7 million as nominal figures.
Okay.
But they're nominal figures. And then I mean you know you're doing. Nipa or year president's speech should have clarified said the 5.7 million no. Guess what state even the source, which is the Ministry of Finance, one more budgetary statement in 2024 and the media budget review policy statement. So that everybody can have a better appreciation saying a tier. But the over year enrollment to data there 3.5 million. That is the data. But for me, I mean, granted, without even admit, of course, I don't want to impugn any ill motive. Say you'll be calm for political expedience and whatever. I mean, for me, whether or not to say you A, B, I mean, the clarification has been brought. What is most important? What is most important? They say, one, we all agree on principle, say, free SHS is a good policy. And access is very key. And the access, for instance yenye policies and sense say yeah it will continue to increase as no bia ko bi but unfortunately look at policy a enwan so modeba one policy o modeba banom rather will cut access to certain category of students into enne free SHS na say now 3.5
the cancellation of double track now.
Yes, double track is going to be very big.
But there's also a system they will put in place. System some building more infrastructure.
Mamin can tell. So Mamin Chawa just a brief way. You can't double track out. First of all, no, nipa no be because say be a political season to chemu people frame your answers as a defense. Si nipa no be who say double track at the bonnet. Mamin ka e wo Ghana abako semu say adeɛ baako the most novel policy I boa Ghana womasua particularly at the senior high school level was a double track. Now the Inter-America say Ghana you need problem with space per se.
Okay.
Say wo hwɛ your enrollment data nkwara on munya kwanya ko school senior high school sir. Speaker over no ne bia nkwara ye post on averagely eco school bia last year was about 550,000. But space is a school around 650,000. Ndike di nkwala bia e che nkwala bia egu school bia ma ka obenya excess spaces be 100,000 da hokwa a obi anya de enkom na the problem say your bigger problem has nothing to do with space, it has more to do with the choice based system that we do. Nti oba he no obako school bi de se bia wore man e wo mikroma sante achem do miabra Ago Collins e wo mikroma sante achem okọ bia school bi de se Ago State e wo asante achem ana se other schools be a category C, B schools na low subscribe na. Bo say kwanya bebre ho spaces wo ho. Because nkwara bebre no ma wo for nya dey empesa schools no. Baba school be say Achimota, Prempe College, Pesek Legom, Wesley Girls no more there. And who say e wa ba peso pa
because no more na moye ne sa na.
No, because say
categorization of the schools no na amasa.
No, but one categorization do nim say Wesley Girls say school be members me body. Me here say categorize and wo. You don't need categorization to.
But how do we say school be a school? Is it not the same?
No, when
is it not the same quality teachers?
No, the categorization is not in terms of quality. When you talk about the categorization, even you take into consideration the regional balance. So what I say, region bo ha I say school be a school bo time edi. Ya till Wesley Girls 18s. Where they are say any school now 1892 nya dey enyepe. One more students no more near the facilities eka home. What I say? Sometimes even no more teachers resources ni na eka home. The quality on the face value Rebecca say bia offend say you can't categorization on the face value bia because say quality. But not necessarily quality alone. There are a lot of factors. But I mean the holistic factors in now comes into the account saying na quality. But they make kind of say uko policy be just 1 minute. So uko be is a double track free here. What indirectly you are saying is first of all double track in the buy ama nkwara obise bi omo free nkwara se ni ade nyina atimi nya kwanya call this big schools ukoyi school Prempe College na fa nkwara 3,000 because of double track it we fa nipa 6,000 offer school bi say Wesley Girls fa 4,000 say betimi for 8,000 Presec fa 3,000 be fa 6,000 because of double track nti no atima ma nkwara ni nyina nti so ka chem say we cancel double tracker is an indirect way say nkwara school bia sa category A schools na ni bia ma hiafo manu kobi no say education apartheid bia ni ho na obi atim kobi no say who ye free ho and only open opportunity to only people who can afford say bia iska for man nko a o ka chem say obesi school down building school down is not enough unless you have been able to increase the status or raise the status of those schools and they start here no with the STEM schools so nti akra bi ho pepper say ka akwa wo de ne kwa wa nya nko na o ma sa akra na akonya so nko ebia abomo system obede obeko nti enye event sa what I say is a very holistic but one more so one abamu e dey mpa bota omochi na mum ye be MPP dis so position dey ye nim yesin wiase ni panyina
but that's lawyer Kwesi Kwache na Kwame Appiah say good morning Mr. Speaker. Tell Kwesi Kwache he is ranting too much on the appointment of President Mahama. What is his problem with TT Kache not having appointment?
Titi ana
will be question obi say no Kwame Appiah question
me see Titi Kache no ho me first time me share Richard na me dance me see no kwa coaches na abako no ba
I remember
me okura coaches na de be campaign okura coaches na de be campaign sabe no collection sempre no mo aboka ma ni tiri hu nyɛ tutu ai da ko achi kwa de ka ko se ko twi ka keto bi go fu ho se akoya ye communications are 8 years na 8 years be sin ne na akoya o ma bana esi me nwa ya be nyina hyehyebe wo be si woni bia woni godfather bia e o mo se godfather wo Asante regional minister Miami Amakohin. Godfather na saw this because mo hwe ya na Godfather the vet na what ase na me modi me see titi ni Godfather papa oni obi olobi amano and titi ase mo mega titi wa ye mo bododo titi to opposition government one me yepe na ali wa hwe aso aba ka ho wa ase mo so na
ali be do but mo hu mo boda mo position
titi na ase ma
who to be very sincere titi Kateno there I've known him for a very long time but Ali Bremo na mintio because he attackable integrity on the level of appointment more yen. It's a party for now Abreno. You are not considering them. I mean, some of them for a very long time. I don't know why you
Mr. Speaker, where the meda was say. So, Mammy Sakonya. When you are Bema Kwasi Kwatin Kasa, Manyabutra at TDE, my picking your my baby, you know me and Sabio, and somebody too, Jano. Minim satifua ni ahwefo a mo ti hwe ya mo te ya mo nyasa impression see 1.7 million vote difference here nya close to 1.7 Ghana for dudu ya to santene kwoto aba ema NDC no oman so aba ama NDC say yembe create positions sebi positions are emfa ahotobia emma the ordinary Ghanaian taxpayer. Kwasi kwatin some waka nyina no the tofabo nyina ne se kebeya ka system ministers na John Dramani Mahama ehye hobo no kebia nka ompegem
I Gaza go pass the
money. No ne osha otiasment meminti ase no by implication opesebia ye copy former President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, over 100 ministers are oma appointments. Na presidential staff is there, Brubruja in their thousands. These appointments, Ghana for any home. Because most of the positions be wa sebi, yadi mo bi kwa. Echiano ho kwa, abro nya adwuma bia. Na oya budget mo making for during I think Nanado earlier government we have budget mo de call presidency alone and crofo aya form mo a mo ye adwuma presidency na nya asem kitwa party boys enti Ghana for ye hu de da said no this is wrong obi asabi only adwuma bia and that osha some of them were just moving about without doing anything. Ministers are former President Nanado a year more Ghana for bu anye so mo kan ho sem e kan ye hu de say yi bia di omo keka ya etimesre Kwasi Kwatin say gidia Ghana for e di emaye e bosha ye share ye si e ba appointment no ye behwe ayi 60 sa nyina so no na Ghana for ehwe ye eto aba boom 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 MIA. And so on it in the right position say Obeka President John Dramani Mahama say on making more appointments. For what? Appointments are hodwa Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo ni Dr. Bawumia appointment ministers adudu omo yi ye nkrofo creating a lot of position portfolios are omo make nyina no ekosi Ghana say dollar no e managing the saying unemployment rates are mo beto no 8.4%. Almost free so na ekikako almost 15%. These appointments in faso ben na de ba ye creating nyuma e ma Ghana for enya be these over 100 ministers are mu omo one district one factory etimi emane ye adwuma almost factories are hodwa but be on the ground no nankro for factories o masisi including that of Kasapreko for nyina 1D 1F nebo home manifesto in your manifesto much say it is going to be PPA private public PPA partnership right PPP so they kind of good in your manifesto but almost abontain in their campaign almost simply so any Ghana for kasa almost say Ghana is going to be fully funded by the government. In futuro eno mutubu Ghana for any. Kwasi Mr.
When Professor
And it doesn't lie on your bosom. Say Obekacha John Dramani Mahama say on more people for what? Say you young for what? Now at the end of the day, no. Yes, yeah. Oh no, me. I have no problem if I'm not appointed.
Oh, you have no problem.
I have no problem. Yes. I have no problem. So listen, say ye can say and you be bia or ye NDC ni bia or ye juma den bia no say man appointment.
And that's I don't care.
And no man na ye betimi afọ mo. Na no nipa do why ye campaign. Campaign no nipa do why NDC mo ye. And ya thousands of people. You expect say President Mahama by force on creative offices portfolio. Now all these people on for Moncheshe baby now. Now at the end of the day, who is going to pay for all these people who are employed?
The relevant ones.
So the relevant one, and this just say you want crofua, just so much you be a more question dear to say a ba nimdia omuobi omodoso. Okay say oh you krampo na at the end of the day no you can't. Kakra na ya fo mo no so mo nya adwuma no enna edi ahoden ebeta o machi na ya bo o machi ama adwuma no omaye. In any case President Mahama nya appointment ni wie yo aka le dodo no enti obi bia o ye NDC ni na don't feel like say you are being neglected. Appointment that dodo na fe na eba I mean, who knows?
Katano.
Yes, you better me fixing the baby. It's just not too late. It's not too late.
There were 26-page document to be with ministries in the 23. No, any agencies are going to show more singing. Appointment be
yes, sure, of course. And say Miss Master Minya Bema Kwasi. Yes, sir, no. I mean, some solutions you are giving my no. Me assure say open President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo about me.
This is you to me.
Or this our position, or this our solutions, ideas, emano. Send the kosi ye. Ama mo no Ghana for bo anyo so. And almost so bon coffee.
Because this album perfect.
Mon coffee. Embarrassingly, about me. She said, Bomia. Menya NPP de ba edrumrebe nho ye me mobo Miss Sumano especially oba abonten na the electoral commission chairperson onye na adwen so be declare results no ai ma ba omia na nkasa ba abonten ebe consider defeat no I wept because Akufo-Addo aniemwa no Baumia in one way or the other, no, be ana oni own, lapses near the but he could have been a better president as compared to Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Because President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo no only vision be as president, no only or papaya president work or the 2-3 mayor president of the Republic of Ghana.
Is this fair?
Demonstration who do Akufo-Addo a lead ninsema no eka brofo ne policies ahodoa ni sloganeerings are one district one factory 1 million one constituency $1 million. Look at the slogans.
Oh, this is
good one na enya ade ultimate
a lot of them were accomplished.
A lot of them name
some of them were
one constituency $1 million no constituency when you say
constituency na amba uko bisa
German North
one am free uko bisa assembly ni say sikanaba because we are made to understand say that promise were initiated in projects until we assembly or the project ne ba the priority project or the ba near the sikane the ayama.
Well,
you are in this country
they can beat their head around it and argue say oh no, listen me credibility who hear me pa me metna fi di kesi iso Ghana na me di antro
1 million per
constituency me say ena dia eba so na constituency project dia say is no more kind when we were promising say every district to be $1 million no was that the promise was that the promise on my project? They promised them one constituency be a DC ni amount $1 million. Wa fire nyoma. Na project they say kwaswo. Eba bia project in every single constituency, every single district. So your question almost says you can't wo hen na defense of the buy no but udom so kwa na ntisa. We are moving Ghana's economy from taxation to production. At the end of the day, taxes are who was saying on the car and son of leave office. Omo the taxes emene sa boshe no omo timi edi so.
Now ba free SHS figure.
Remember
this one mama na
we to Ghana public debt 120 billion. Sembe na ba omianka. Oh, Mahama or Bobo Siandodo. The can send bebre omo free so now your public debt was 767 billion Ghana cedis. And now I know can say ekikako 800 billion Ghana cedis. And so obviously they are not people we can trust. And I'm very convinced beyond reasonable doubt to say Sir John Dramani Mahama ye ne nyoma ye. Ne ministers awo yi omo so mo teme boa no e ma ne ye na juma ne se de se na efata. NPP betimi atena opposition the next 28 years. I'm telling you this. Free SHS. Me dem can be on several platforms say free SHS no de e ade Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo oya ade so otimi implement ye. Nemum otie President John Dramani Mahama no gradual said ye oye osha progressively ke ebeboa no. A whole lot of challenges in the free SHS system. Many of them was the spokesperson. Sometimes some of the questions are your baby saw mono, you know struggle to answer. Hey. In my previous school, Agri Memorial AME Zion Secondary School, now I'm a head boy. Now I'm a Central Regional SRC president. 2 years through the implementation, me call me school Agri Memorial. Agri. When I'm a
okay.
I was the commander in chief in Agri. Now, Mr. Me call home plan B. He said, I'm going to the stands the dining hall and a nebida. And we are say and a nebida.
Agri Memorial.
Agri Memorial AME Zion Secondary School.
As a former
school prefect, Agri Memorial. Yes. Me say,
time no.
Somewhere around 2018 thereabout. Now so to the said Omako baby akotale. A lot of challenges.
NDC.
Think I'm open na kamo tie John Dramani Mahama na mo ye ne progressive kakra said you see e-blocks ahodo a wo de share bibia ase na kebeboa. Wantie and a lot of problems and at the end of the day no characterizing the policy. It was that's 7 year. So most of these parents they were giving their children pocket money. Provisions or the better so by for because enuania omodi mankra no enya dia eswomo. Now background point free SHS. Now we need 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 Ghana cedis depending on the school. Obano onko. Mr. Speaker, nipa do was saying a bit me anya 5,000. Krabe 2, 3. Can you afford? You joke say. At the end of the month, sign an award as a public servant. So Sir John Dramani Mahama so ba abe resetting the free SHS policy. Abe reviewer. Now or refer to some of these challenges characterizing the policy.
Okay.
Oba be he ayen ye said ye be ya say enkwala dodo a ye chane your more on daily every year bia mo ba abonte no on betimi abeyegu say obi wies free teachers when are 8 A's me home tuition me fan kra e train your mama go kire enkwala de ofie. It's part of the job pa me na omo ba ye test your mo free SHS student me 8 A's obi man the common simple math past questions won solve obi to 0%.
Hey, to what
10%, 20%. Why should that happen? Obianem ni krom has said and a free SHS student questions no ye boa omo The results they get.
No, Ali.
No, listen.
Why the boa?
No, listen.
I mean, those are some of the things you cannot substantiate. Say you was years and why the boa?
I don't have any evidence to prove, so I retract and withdraw. But our listener viewers, they understand what I'm talking about, because I cry 8A, 7A, 6A's. Not simple mathematics question, bro. For simple construction, crampon to me now. Not just no passing here. Some of the lecturers, KNWS, one of me call it's one of my lecturers. I say, hey, no more not say more than I'm about school, Maha. Just say, Omoba, Omonya dear, just a bibia troca, lecture, no crowd, lecture, cromontiasie. Omo bonye. This resetting, you be call hono, you be do musoko, you be ye bibia said they say, na e fata said they
are watching how we be resetting na mama. Kwalaya when I was yes or more bonye. Oma
bompa.
Me that say, 8:45. Mamen kind will messages in the hour day about that Membrako from Paul. So we say good morning, Mr. Speaker. From Paul from Kumasi. Elections are over and the NDC is still making references. In the history of Ghana, no political party has spent more than 8 years. So they should stop being overjoyed and concentrate on what Ghanaians expect of them. Thank you, from Paul, for a message out there about Anope. We say good morning, Speaker. Please be fair. At Obuasi, tell me what is the 1 million one district constituency has done for Obuasi. Okay, thank you for a message. You know, Mohammed Ewo Ejura, I say John Mahama has no excuse to fail with the youth. Trump want to deport Africans, the same country we eager to go. So we remain in our country and we expect the government to sit up and do the right things for the Ghanaian youth. NPP, never again. Thank you for a message, you know. Eric Kwekubu, Patriotic Voices, it seems now some Ghanaians are happy. Propaganda that brought John Dramani Mahama and the NDC into power will expose them when things are getting tough. Because we warned Ghanaians about this happenings and yet they didn't listen. They will keep quiet. They should keep quiet and suffer. That is what you mean to say. Thank you. We say good morning, Mr. Speaker. Ask the NDC man if 24-hour economy is going to be operationalized. How is it going to help the people of Oti region as farmers? Daniel Ediwe Abba Pesa. Thank you for a message, you know, Anope. We say, good morning, Speaker. Please ask Mr. Kwesi Kwarteng if his school days aggregate from 30 to 52 were accepted in schools. Why don't we talk about quality? Why don't we talk about quality for now? Crispat Ede Abba. Crispat, thank you for a message, you know. This one says that, please, I'm Paul, studying at KNUST campus. Please help me with some... Paul, Martin. We say good morning, Mr. Speaker. I'm Seidu. Mr. Speaker, good morning. I'm watching you live from Ashanti Mampong. Wise talk by Mr. Kwesi Kwarteng. Please tell Mr. Eli to follow Mr. Kwarteng so that they lecture him well. Thank you for a message, you know. Ata Japan, Ede Aba, Japan Dankwa, Dichem Sukumasi na do if you say, Mr. Speaker, free SHS is one of the best interventions, but its implementation was flawed. I pray President Mahama succeeds. Yes, the appointment should be blended with experienced hands. Good morning, and say good morning to your team. Thank you. Team no ate. I'm Aaron from a year before so Asemo Ghana. The politics will kill us. My name is Gloria Addo. I want to know if the people in your studio actually know what is happening in this country. There is a lot of difficulties in the country, and Ali must keep quiet for his government to fix it. Thank you for a message. 48 after 8. Now, Brebu Mame, Maakye to say?
Yeah, Kwame Jusu.
Yibia Boko.
Inyamia Adomarakwa. Kwame.
Yes.
Yes, here Titia Betty and the channel. Abaya Abbey. He just has 4 years. And Kofwa Bre, ye be appointing Kofonia. The two fees say, Train Kakra, buying a baby beer, Masanya Kekahon.
See a be appointing what?
Aye, Kekahon. Now, if you say at the end of Doswan, Kwame Kekahon, because baby at the end of Koro. Why ne careful? Why be you say, and net, no, I've been 4 years, Naba. de be ko atia
the more than so na nkrofo agye ni
and nkrofo so edge ne ade na ayi ma men ka sem che honorable Ali honorable you are a very good communicator, but you see you made a statement for electoral commission. What say Tama Dr. Baumia ebeji adie no tuma abra na electoral commissioner empese obi declare result no. In fact, aya mesrel with you respectfully. Aya mumma yenya botre. Si anya careful, will be inciting innocent people to the public. I be creating problem amai. Time now Dr. Baumia ebe aye admission. Say wajiatu no. Na ya two abano it wasn't even up to 1 day. Uye calculation time you close to. You fair say post now 5 o'clock no. Na a new 1 day. They make what I say because 1 day should be 5 o'clock of that Sunday now baby key that
24 hours.
24 hours. And Sunday ni 10 p.m. 10 a.m. and no baby key that admission. So and baby and you and I will say since we are not doing biometric voting by biometric register since the year 2000 and that's 1992 electoral commissioner be for even 2 days and your declaration not even 2 days only 3 days obia 3 days the last time they tried 1 day the 2020 election when Madam Jean Mensa said that Obe declare Abani in 24 hours. So they went to the iPad meeting. And the SPP was represented by Mr. Joe Anoche. You understand? And almost see Joe Anoche na wabanintino. The political party see Joe Anoche na wabanintino. Because that guy now is a IT expert, whatever. They thought that ebi obetimi are manipulating. Yes. And let us go back to our manual. And so the manual, we should understand, say it takes them 3 days. Even the time Dr. Baumia make that admission, the EC website and the EC for Nankasa, one more satisfied a year no was not even up to 7 years constituency. So aya mumie nyabotre, you are fantastic communicator. So what did San Norman Beke Kawa? It will take something or something out of how you communicate, the shine out of your communication. And a lot of people watch you and they love you. Let us watch that. Now, Kwame, Mr. We interview be. What bizarre question be ama? When you say obeshe we are commission media ni anra. And then I say commission media. Kwame, na keja ayo uniform. Kwame.
Yes.
Meti newsroom.
Yeah.
KTV. Ura Vitus Azim. What bizarre be? I change the narrative. I dribia fa issue. I'm not in support of the allegation.
Okay.
Because that guy there, Memakase, we need to check this guy. But Kwame, you asked a question, say, the chief of staff, per the interview that Manas Azuri had with Joe Seusu, the chief of staff, or say chief of staff, now sometimes, or this Gabriel, and I say, where do the chief of staff
get the money?
Did the chief of staff get the money? Is it the government coffers and also no one kasa the personal money? Kwame, I see some adribi, and I have to say this: verbal allegation. Adena appointment committee in a friend. Sisi a met one no maybe bamitrim. Kwame ntiase. Tiasma be you. We have a privileges committee in Parliament.
I will hear some of these things.
Yes, I'm going to read their mandate. Or say, the Committee of Privileges and Immunities, chaired by the first Deputy Speaker, consists of a ranking member, a vice chairperson, a deputy ranking member, and no more than 13 other members. Or say, this committee is responsible for investigating any complaints of contempt of Parliament or breaches of privilege formally referred to it by the House. Now, Vaba issue now a buy. Kwame.
Yeah.
It was allegation. And yet in short to say Black Rasta Dianwa. You didn't about privileges committee. No, I'm sorry. Privileges committee. No. It is not a feud or a directive remarks. Ura and Pemdako, Miami boss, GBC, Willie D. Against the parliament, against KT Hammond. You didn't call privileges committee or compassion. This is an allegation. It will be making allegation. Said the appointment committee, Eje Briber, Kwame. This allegation, you know, against the parliament. Just not making you. It is not only the appointment committee, but the parliament. So
the committee works on behalf of the parliament.
Yes, works on behalf of the parliament. So in this case, you know, it is the Vama war against parliament. The entire parliament. Privileges committee member, appointment committee member. So a committee should have been set to investigate this.
As our committee is different from the standing committees in our parliament.
Yes, because I have Vama war against parliament.
But I want to investigate you more.
Good. And nothing about Kaise. Matinabi du tama Boachaja ku issue the buy.
Yeah.
Matinabi du kacha na Akufo-Addo said that no any special prosecutor. So the Matinabi du told another Dan Akufo-Addo say, so was set up commission of inquiry. The commission of inquiry no will help him near the independent investigation body and investigating issue no. Because say appointment committee ni privileges committee o set up a committee or parliament some investigator and your parliamentarians na investigate o and a committee so yare reshuffle obi ni baby obakọ dabi dey make what say so they'll be shielding each other. So Argentina obi are making this allegation. You see, it looks like the guy was taken there to kill his spirit. He was taken there to kill the conviction of evidence. Sana Kwame Appiah. Because when your allegation as a second special prosecutor.
No, him.
Yes, because this is the mandate of special prosecutor Kwame. Quickly your dodges. The mandate of special prosecutor. What kind of point 3 now? Was say investigation and prosecution of cases of alleged and suspected corruption and corruption related offenses involving public officers, politically exposed persons, and persons in the private sector, blah 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 blah. Politically exposed persons. It is Obia making some allegation we say, and such a stop parliament say you cannot call this guy because allegation has made against you. You don't investigate that allegation. You don't allow the person take powers. Boxing. I have heard people are making allegation about me. If I catch those alligators, you understand? So those alligator, you don't call the alligator to appear before Nipana allergy adena against him to investigate. I don't get it.
Okay.
Upon everything, me see the special prosecutor as I saw investigating this case because John say we should na waka. What say? Yedi sika. Nemom ye wia and the chief of staff send this sika de maye. Na me the highest amenya 2,000. Kwame, nobody is interested in the sum of money that you got. Nobody is interested in that. What we are interested in is the practice.
Okay.
You get me?
Yeah.
I don't think a question now be sa papa no. Azim na atwema atwedi abaso. Yet the practice. As I say, uji sikadi fu obi wo say your appointment.
Yes, the mandate no crowd of the chief of staff. So this Kabeka committee no crowd.
On what grounds?
Because parliament no want a budget.
Yeah.
And the parliament in the say taking care of standing committees Juma.
Yeah.
So why does the chief of staff come
Chief of
in?
Staff or a bank?
Or your bank.
Or dispatches.
Or dispatch. Yes. Or your bank. In any case, appointment committee yes am bonus allowance. That's an allowance.
Sitting
allowance. Because tema parliament yes parliament pono. Parliament pono. Sa 5 you know omu da so ye adwuma. Enutina dey be a parliament betena se amana kobo 8 p.m. any year to wait to pass a bill. they get allowance.
Okay. But I say, Nana Mesa about should be my member Rakosi Quatis because it Mamintio on former war issues in the allegation of bribe taking and all of that when the committee or Moye, you must say, Mamintio member also because
I think just before a Vomao, now just a quick response on when you're in Komobi or Kai, just maybe 1 minute pay. Let me say Nanado. No nibishi be also a president. Many sure say fair to him. Unse the Biamacasa Banch in a Jana Bede, a betche. Bra President Kroma Free Sono. Yamamuha, a mobile and ye. Na Mekai Aposem Okaya, when you read history, you see Bukroko Bubu in statue, and there was huge jubilation in the country. Uncle Forger said, na Sebio Yamon Sam required a friends with them. And then Nkrumah is hailed as arguably the best president this country has ever had. Of course, you compare data and facts and based on context, people may have their own opinion. But country bia or the pania, I genitum say onone a penia obeji independence here there. I mean the list can go on, but the mama the fourth republic crack. Me President Rawlings, Sabre Yawasante at Chemina Santa Region. Yet this will be NDC in Ukraine. Say, man, we NDC ni bin and the car tremono, obey grand. I am so. I chill cry, the picture was painted as President Ronald Tukradi. And of course, I mean, it's a statement of facts what the coup about power. And you name Mr. Papanadi, we ya your Bamaya to CCA. Yes, we am quite be about Nipper to Kuna, the same who's we within you. This are. By a chi bin yini yano. You move cry, so Sabre was as a President Kufad more first time and money I don't know. But Ronnie's are too many antis in the beginning. Oh, but Unyini and growth comes in a do stage beyond some that year. President Rawlings was, I mean, there were he has his own ups and downs, fulfillments and disappointment. But being in say, in terms of political stability, they also be a day. Oba President Mahama ya Namu ya 2016 Pamoni, and somebody can follow. Oh, but 32 years, Mr. President Mama Nkwano Lusu Lesina. The following the success are called Mensia 2 for Can once and say, now no obedient TV trace what they or before they come there 12 years. I mean, became a national issue. Into young tree was na the Akayana de Yamo by. So, Obia free of Bama, you can't say, but time reveals and time heals. And now the problem is a organ. Nano na me TV station back when they are Boko to Kano Bay coup. Ziga Abaja is only a decent job you could almost on my heading. The economy and bad governance. Meboa, a champion almost the economy and bad governance. Meboa, yeah. Who say in economy and bad governance? I buy a quarter in economy and bad governance. 2016 the same thing. Entry of Wasi. Now, and said, let's be very measured on that. On the tab of Madam says, I responded to you. The Mumma actually, and they call her, you call Wasi, you call Jiwi. Me catch our speaker, me catch our straight, say. Said the Tawa Mia defeat now to Muntem, and a train so said the President Mahama, in 2020, I buy a toy, busy ne, on to me congratulated the MPP and even a Kufadwa. And yes, a train, why I be seen now. The memoir ye, commander say. The memoir ye, I want me initially, I sided with the school of thought, a party for the modern say, Dr. Bamia's earlier concession statement and a weekend party. No? Because most of the MPs were not protected again,
yeah.
But at the long run, the Ajatum said, no, Papa, no, so and yes, sir. Said the Uncle, and we are assuring you, say, going forward, the election in this country is never going to be the same. You can't say, Basa. But the Befam quite so to stand for our right and defend every abatobia because of none of the Amuye Intino. Yahoo say, we cannot entirely or solely rely on the state institutions. And our responsibility in law, say, be protected there about also the Ebeye because of what you've demonstrated. And say to her, you can't. We should be very mindful of that. This, I mean, this year, on quick one on free senior high school. Speaker, let me give you an analogy. Who feed him 1.3 million and not pay you number. Where me speaker, and no, me could do for na dasa.
Yeah.
Na me wo ben kubi a fridge mu ebro 1 week. And me ye. And me tree mako. Me nkuma still be na fridge mu hu se swa. And me tree mako ka ho na me heating kuma na me de go sana number no. Me di wi na me sama me here Madrid match Me usually I'm after 12 because be a may readings yeah them so okay between 4 or 5 hours interval they be and digest a bit my day I take place mother. Unim says Adrian a crona no. So the coma aquara you want the cantonment ha. Okay, what kind of food are you giving to me? What is that? Because no when I make a show. Oh I said pan I make a say na me be din no anwume na me de ha. Me see be wia me kokota me dey ball life for kwasi no me say wo dey say aduan ne be makora bi ono ye wo ne cantonment ha ne papa wo fie o isle go ha ono wache moto be ka say aduan ne nye papa aduan e 18 food items beans eboro and kate the same food items are what you send to the schools. It's not different say bi aduan no ade and your mama edukra say metros edukra so mo aduan you may have taste variations but mo me anto ye boase. The picture we are painting say as a ban be by or no there and no pay we anwumre no na adwen say adwemoni e woni tin nyina so obaye nuane fo amankwara mo me nto ebo ase na maba the problems e wo ho no eso ti munya botre on quality what you say nkwara try exams no munya grade 6 and I grade 8 Ministry of Education ya kwachiro ma for what purpose? Let me say this. Send a person term kwara to make a case say 3 years nkwara me pass I don't 100% in pass ne ye may be passing be so freely oni pa bi so busa so bi say na question bi na obusa about adentina ye pass obi a ekọ into the senior house bi nya 50 near there. I don't think say nkufo nya 50 but the point is say this is ye taught as a government boa o mindful peja o mindful you have two options. The first option is say obe hide under a certain cut-off point because only infrastructure meboa and the double tracking come ya about only infrastructure until say akora nya grade 20 kra won timi go school usually first almost 28 meboa and the 22 money those who wa bon trewu wan sua de ma won go school until wa bon na ma kora na tena fini a wasting the life yes say so we pass it either English or maths. Who fail English and maths the foundation of the schools education and the sa cultural BEC near the ABU but pass English and maths is say about to mean performing responsibility now opportunity to be in classroom because we see 19. Why don't you give you an opportunity to justify yourself? What they call say what could do university input not the weak grace in the choir. Instead of saying English now there, I don't invest in creating English 101 now. Not 5 years ago, I didn't know school when they school. Rather than say we have sakura and him Ghana and yakura and him. No was sakura and life is onya grade 20 and not 25 in 2 man nkosu onkosu nti o ma yedai onye dey wo man nim na na bra onye dey say sakura kora na amenu speaker o tell pemu do America onya grade 100 kora America ban be say let's give akora no support system no me yi akora na be surgeon a yes sakura na magana ha sakura na be footballer and no be coach yes sakura na magana no me finance team so why can't we do that to ourselves? And I think that is a response to that. Now I back avoma one I mean he's not my fan. Even though I see a separate as some kind. The reason why I make us when I'm fan say, "Emre bi na me nam court premises o." Na me wura court wa me de me twamwa na bre sabe we PF court no ni memo bi ahia. Asem okan no enya asem meet me repeating no radio so. But them say na sabe ne try mu on my very offensive language referring to the judge and the court. And as we share nipa kakra bi o kan say asem bi a meet me repeat no radio so. Me free hono ebu amede woman no esote and I've never been interested in this matter because the reason they say if not for anything at all, you're a lawyer ni. That's what I'm told. Until the integrity of the court no you are one person also to me you protect it. Secondly zumi hu no Supreme Court premises no nam no na abamua mienu ekura camera yede edinachi enti baby obegina bia na onmu twa no and I'm can people be very intentional about a lot of these things? Let us say ne dwumadi a wodi nyina ye or ye ne nipa hu ne kana asem say kind of a populist attention seeker bi na unim well I say one mo I this if I say trap mama na say tenten was starting voma you see nobody is saying that you cannot conduct your struggles there be we are mam wodwuma we sigalam say ho say ye opa wan kankan konongonyo na mkutwa konongo bai I don't say we what about no. You can conduct your struggles, but they can say it should be in the high plane of dignity and respect to everyone. No, can we face the country? No, no, blocking rules. Yeah, I for Kwame and then no, the Abamusum. Are they all in the minimum appointment and open there? Open with the say a jump. Professor Jumpo.
I no question.
I'm confirm media houses now report. But you see, say no crown. I'm calling on Professor Jampo to apologize to Ghanaians and the Utah community. untimi you should you tag ɛnhyɛ you tag akyi ɛma wonya wadwen saa sɛ you tag adeɛ na woyɛ o fight for you tag nanka ɛdeɛ ntina ti asɛm Western of Galamsey equal so Western of now to University of Ghana so when I oko strike one more you sue all these institutions as Galamsey equal so Western of the University of Ghana teacher deka oka ho asema cafe o strike o ntine nkwade no mo ye but mu you sue sadie we ya ye dede ene na wakwaje appointed e from back Professor Kubi ho ahoni ono so mo de tourism de ono so anya bi ono so en ho economist wa ahoni eno na me ka say Professor Jampo no more no more mu neutral ponya baby who are out here who deserve it it's not a matter of so creative degree ebi wo nti wali out here who deserve you so dia me kick kata na asem kwa bobo who so deserve bi but I mean
me say you consider me baby I can paper Ghana Mortuary Agency
I heard so bia no nkra mpre ho
obi ano
and I also a pharmacy adro ye de nipa beto
adro na me ne lawyer ba ko di nkomo o se ompe na me so nim ba bi asika wo na onim ba bi so abe criticize
I say ewo de obese we dey ya ekan ipa ho and we dey ya honso sem bebre but me the Ivoma word you no see I think say beyond or no the personality and the remarks that he made. This is not the first time I had to say. Okay, former speaker, current speaker, then he was even a member of parliament, Babin. Yeah. Honorable Honorable Babin. I'll make his statement. Say I know more Muska. A friend say I think say Joe Wusu had made similar statement before.
He even made that statement again.
Yes. And I mean, boy, you so Vama so Abeka. Now, yeah, no, say age more. Public service on the maybe service on institution be which name I shall not mention, but I was reliably informed. That's how I so mo ko pass on no budget to crana. I just said, "Mudi be there. I can't hold committee." No, I mean, it's not a statement of fact because I will not be able to adduce evidence to it. But these are speculations. I say, "Bibi an waka papa enye grad." Then musie bia so ni wa e ba bia na ja kakra ye dey. E say, these concerns, and if we are talking about a broader conversation about fighting corruption, for instance, Mr. Maakye make statement on soja. Say, offender say, Dr. Manebo say, oba the protocol no ade. You see, on the face value, no, I say a trial because it's something that we are all used to. But subsequently, no, it's a system we should not encourage.
Yeah,
I don't think it's people should sit in parliament and share who becomes a military officer. May we because gradually you're working police office and police institution, fire service you're working. The military, the air force, and also the political apparatus could move up. And then I don't know.
But I say, my main kind Krobia message or they are sending me, Deputy Director of Communication of the NPP. I say, good morning, Speaker. I kindly tell your guest Ali to show some respect to the free SHS graduates. They deserve to be respected. How can he describe these young men and women in that distasteful manner? Ali and his NDC should note that you can use propaganda to win political power, but you cannot use propaganda to govern a nation. Kudos to Kwesi Kwarteng Esquire for his insightful presentation. Krobia, thank you. I don't pay your dasi papa say utie. Oze.
Minyano no Grobia. Minyano no mechana pa. Oya doctor.
O Grobia doctor.
Now him. Oya doctor, honorary doctor. Doctor.
Honorary doctor.
We jimoni din sir.
Doctor. I did so give I'm celebrating no. This one says that Speaker, I have followed you for a very long time and love you as well. Of which you know. So please, why are you showing your wickedness even though you don't own me? I don't get you. Okay. Wait, good morning, Speaker. I know students who can't read, yet they have completed senior high school with A's in English. Students with A's in mathematics, but cannot do simple algebra equations. That one is true, but people find it difficult to accept the truth. Teacher knows what I am saying. Good morning to you and your team. Thank you for a message. I say, please, I used my wife's Ghana card to register my Momo. Questions. Some messages here. Modibahe. I say, who is the best between Dr. Nkrumah and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo? One who has given free education to a quarter of the population, and one who has given free education to the whole country. I have distinction pass, and here I am with red marks. To my grave, I mark 70%. Odu. Tabri, you sent in that one. Thank you for a message. Ozzy, good morning, please. I want you to ask that man that why is the NDC members always saying bad things about the free SHS, yet they won't cancel it. Stephen Sam is sending me this one. I say, please, the NDC said they would do 24-hour economy, but they failed to even pay the YEA people. Why? Ask the NDC man for me. Thank you. This one is from Jones Mansuton to Krumnadu free airbar. Speaker, God Almighty punished NPP because of Ghanaians' anger. John Dramani Mahama is back to power. The people were angry and they voted against the poor governance they exhibited. John Dramani Mahama will fix the problems. Thank you. Good morning, Speaker. I'm Andrew from Takwa. Please tell Ali that they have no excuse to fail the good people of Ghana. They should focus on their policies and stop trying to review the existing policies. Thank you for your message. This one says, good morning. Please tell the NDC guests not to make any argument and claims without substantive evidence. Safo Edwefri Elubo Anna Ebaye. Good morning, Speaker. It is necessary for senior high school students to pass. Still, please, we need free education. I'm Veronica. Okay, thank you for your message, Vero. What the man is saying is very true. Most free SHS students are not intelligent at all, but they manage to get A's. What is Kwesi Kwarteng talking about? He should tell us how they manage for the student to pass. Good morning, Speaker. It's true these days, so-called free SHS senior high school students are not good at all. It is an evidence of their performance in the universities. Thank you. This one says that we voted for the NDC. Why they complain? Reset and complete the promises you gave us. Thank you for your message. A lot of messages. And Mode Abano. Good morning, Speaker. Please, if I may know, your guest, Kwesi Kwarteng, is the same Kwesi Kwarteng, former PRO for the Ministry of Education. Yes, you are right. He's the same person who is in the studio, Anope. And those are some of the messages. Ali, you wrap it up, but remember also on the Voma War and then Parliament issues, not Minti and Sana.
Yeah, quickly, before me back home, Maminfa Sima, Nami, and Cap appointment here, John Dramani Mahama, appoint. I think, say, many of Kwesi Kwarteng had a problem. Say, Yama, Professor Jampo, an appointment.
Need any confirmed?
Yes, as I sit here,
from the look of things,
as I sit here, I cannot actually confirm that.
Oh, but Professor Jampo is not bad.
Yeah, but even if he's appointed, what's wrong with that? What's wrong? Is it not
you need a union government, right?
Yeah, he's a Ghanaian.
He's an NDC.
It's a concerned Ghanaian.
He's NDC.
When you look at some of the statements, an argument and a line of arguments are a very objective person. Now, so NDC wa bemo. Professor Jampo, he can't send me to John Mahama. Go and Google some of the things he said against President John Dramani Mahama
in 2016.
Yes, you can Google. You get a lot. Compare the two. So it's obvious. Say government is a inclusive government. And that's a beer or political affiliation. So far, you know, be so far, you know, be our MPP more Sabi, your man opposition. Kobet mi abua magana atumpon. Just ankema MPP ni appointment.
Oh, Kwesi Kwarteng there were.
Well, Kwesi Kwarteng, or you good, but propaganda or in the education sector. And what is the problem? So propaganda. We can use that to reset. Yet to me, and reset it, on my Ghana. Until how not come in there, I'll protest an appointment because of propaganda. Well, you're good, naturally, a very good person. My father natural. Coming to the Voma issue, you see, publication about Bontini, the original publication, which was authored by Voma himself, and ɛna deɛ obi so ɛde yɛ propaganda pasty propaganda deɛ no ɛna parliament ane ɛyɛ den ɛkɔɔ so because ɛno na ɛtrendy yɛ ɛno ɛka sɛ he was emphatic sɛ appointment committees no ɛgye bribe na chair no krampo no was say or making the home available for oral to investigate. That was a propaganda publication. But I was surprised that a whole parliament statement be say you don't have means and ways mobe timi ahwe confirm say bia asama aba bonteno eye nokre anase enye nokre. I think we are lacking in that space because over here there was this publication somewhere around 2018. Almost all the media houses in Ghana are PK, including this particular media house. MyJoyOnline.com, PeaceFMOnline.com, UT, almost every station talked about it, but that was fake news. Nipakro chair a trade story no edit to the Facebook page near friend John Kwadwo Stevens. Or said Nana Akufo-Addo is the best president in Africa. That story was faked. The Ochire story, no, I was just behind him, KNUST. I near friend John Kwadwo Stevens. Or say, over the yes, or your third in the whole world. Obagula, President Akufo-Addo is the best president in Africa. Anyone can go. Or you see leaders of tomorrow. Statement now. Leaders of tomorrow is not organization be existing. And other, think tanks, be to say Canadian based think tanks, World Vision Forum. No, didn't exist. But Obia Esomu, Emani Baye, Dedema, NPP communicators, use the propaganda at the one wall, and maybe posting in another text messages, congratulating. Oh, some of the communicators, okay, kind. So argument they cost one statement and Crawford making the idea. They congratulated the president. Oh no, on now award BL and Swajit and your boy who did it. We are lacking in that space. So publication be about I was see a domo soko na a year home investigation who say a idea AC and as say sa a publication by na mojina so and na kade wo mu a enka on fa ne ho ni ka they will not just ask him to apologize and go away. Can they will deal mercilessly with him? But I'm so Okoye clarify said that particular statement a man fin honjeno. And unti I mean he's not now we be simple Emma asemno etu HI. But I'll actually advise lawyer Vomawo me oyobia me pena sempa because Oma Ghana for ete and you might be say Abrana Akufo-Addo ye president of the Republic of Ghana. Or be Ghana for any one you might be home. And don't know Emma ma penasem. But John Dramani Mama Mamwe I mean on to no book a crack. Hey, the American son say. Yes, the American son say. But see, the problem is that Nasa Fini Ashas ye. Or the problem not be Bimponka. Oh, not be Binka. Onya abibian ho benya ka o ye hwe
boys wonya
o say
boys e ko hwutu obas wonya
na boys
disturbance e ko so wonya
disturbance e ko so oboase de na ko chere bae. I mean we just started administration maybe e besi Ghana bia no will be attributed to the previous administration.
Ah we ngalam say wonya atiwa galam say wonya hwenka anybody obi ka we di
well the American nyane say eye so oboto omo nsa frɛ no ono nso oye den okọ ho ekoyi no ho ano si ye be wura minority chief with there and ye wura honom metimi wura honom with my remaining time na aka no so minority leader eye anodompre mesre no the woman here no antwa yi no one will be here to defend the woman nemom ono nso onkin kanechi do tamana president Mahama former president no otimi ko gina TV national television so e ka kire Ghana fo nyina say president Nana Akufo president Mahama former president Mahama case to Ghana obia bonechi so ma bonten wo mepa John Mahama chow o said da nya dia obepa na chow. Member of Parliament.
So are you by this justifying the?
I am not justifying that. I am not. But I'm also asking him on that same score, say woman no bad bonten krampo be apologize here. We are also challenging him to also come and apologize.
Okay. Very well, that's because just about 1 minute now wrap you up now, young quiet.
Kessben.
I think say when who some maybe say papa friends boy voma so when you know.
Very good. And I don't know for my wedding.
Oh, I can't so better said that.
No, I don't like him.
Because of statement you are making in the past.
I don't like him. But I mean, most important thing is whichever is a call for us to deepen our fight against corruption. And it doesn't matter, baby, we free baby. We say a DB anywhere, Sebio, a JB anywhere, and we see be anywhere I say January and Chassis. And one more broadly near Hena, ye can't once a we said the way, or Chinebino. The whole concept about the perception of corruption. So also people have about mkofo more titu parliament, you know, at least beba from kakra. But
and never no, it is expected so could to be more. Very interesting to watch. Sam George who will be there. I'm just at 9 o'clock here.
And the veteran is what all the veteran now. Many my main for we see a mammy no friend mammy hard castle.
Yes.
So no mammy could be we are telling. Another pray. Me we see sometimes me position in matters like this, a little bit of wisdom and modesty can solve all this thing. I will take a credit answer. Now we unse and some more can how na do smabeka. Even your party's position has been said, oh, parliament there. It's not really about don't pray, but it's about the institution of parliament.
Yeah.
Me nim dear, it be a little bit makasemi. Me who say even a tweet or a post of an apology can still make a sweat show. And look at you. Oh,
the speaker has said so. Be more in our fair hearing.
No, me just say my man ankasa. Oh, say no me bo kwa yentwimi bro. Oh, no me bo yentwimi bro. You see, sometimes you have to look at the mood of the nation. Even the mood of the nation that are not for you. Obiya who said the course so you have a video. Me say me na me a lawyer. Before cry be share speaker no. This is what I would have advised. Oh, just go on Facebook or Twitter, any platform. Adia is see, you know, maybe the people have not had the opportunity to review all in its entirety. But Mr. Dompre, I take no offense. I withdraw and apologize accordingly. Not only to Mr. Dompre, but also to the Parliament of Ghana. Any microphobia, it be a by me conduct, no, or no more any man idea, no someone who else to see. We ebe kum, ebe yo. But you see, when the pride goes up and I said the pride becomes higher, the mighty falls. Pride in the kosura. What do you stand to lose? Say, oh, up to now, nearly 2 days the same we see.
Yeah.
What they say, what can't answer?
Oh, but I'm told say we call another officer company.
One of him. There's a report. Yes, my AK.
Oh, no, I can't confirm. I don't pronounce.
But don't okay, that's fine. But yeah, but I'm saying, say at least they also the public needs some certain form of. To say me can say you know, we are in the public light. You don't profit that we did in Atemo.
Yeah.
Abontina did in Atem. Then I on the floor of Parliament. And then what was what or letterhead me boy. In 20 minutes, one line letterhead say, oh, me say anything, anything. Oh, the and I who said this one, and this is for me brand also who not just by our statement. Also, my many defending who, and I'm saying, hey, you're too about 9. Where we need more back on anu ya, and I'll be a defending who. Now, come be a defending who came back.
Okay. Huh? Was it me that's it? I'm ponko. Oh, nah. Yeah, was it great? Thank you, Ali Ibrahim. You're a member of the NDC. Ali, thank you very much for your time with us. I don't pay lawyer because you quite a member of the NPP. I don't pay one more adjoining for the discussion. Mami try me home, right? Social industry for us, Papa, na I don't pay. Chocho adaroma one more aso ye mu krokra ye mu yepa chocho product egumu ahodo bebre na eye papa e wo dwaman so enti anope wo chefa wom abofra ne de wom oba ne de wom wacho wo your ba use chocho shampoo ne conditioner and afi hair food na wo the base no aka ho we eye full combo product aye de ma o se de be ya adwuma abo ma wo trinwi no anyini ye pa ebema wo trinwi no aye tick na afi ama edges no wo trin na no a wo numu ana etete ni nyina wacho asiesie ni nyina no kama the breakages of your hair wacho ni nyina beko ba do bebre wo ho a wo nunu ni trimu a ne say nwi no etete na ebubu wacho ni nyina no enye papa ese wo trinwi no afi eno achi no dandruff bi a agi wo trinwi no aboso atrina se ho na je ho nyina fa wacho enye papa anope wo yusu eye chocho shampoo ne conditioner hair food and afi base na e correct ni nyina no e de ma anope ma won sanka bi na ebeboa wo yie pa chocho hand and foot cream no wa won sam e de e soften won sam wo the hand cream no swaswa won sam ma won sam yes abodoma de no anope yusu bi na ebema won sam wa smooth pa afi wo dru nipa mu a wo chia wo mfere ene wa pacho wo shempaboa na wo 19 papa ye ma na she high heels no acho ene wo 19 ya na eye wo ya na e papa ni nyina no obetimi e de chocho food cream no asrasra ho kama pa afi wo ye bema wo she siwa na scent e wo mo skin no sweat ni ade e ba wo na mu nti na ama wo shoe ni mu e bon socks no e bon pacho the scent a bad smell ana edeba anope chocho hand cream and food cream no ebe solve problem yin na no e dia ma chocho BPD BPT eno no e wo dwaman so e control of blood levels no effortless na afi aboa aso anope ma wonsanka chocho product yin na bi oko shops ahodo ni na no e bi e wo ho herbal shops e bi wo ho supermarket malls ahodo your packaging e neat and nice ti anope dia wo pe bia no your packaging kama na ye dia ba afi mo amopese mo ni ye business na mutu dodo mo eton no anopa mo ni chocho eni nkomo na ye bejo so pa for your numbers no on 0551815388 0551815388 and for 02447 27348 02447 to be after 0504 555535 0504 wo hun sebo ayedin e dia ma infertility in men and women bajo ene wo ba ye do be fam fidie mu attest e ho challenge ntia ama awo no entimi emba hypertension prostate enlargement low sperm count ene bebre no anu ekeka ho no chene nyame ya aduma ye screen mu nyina e wo sa yare nyina ho na fe ye de enfidie no hwehwe oni padua mu ebia ya to yebo ase na ya hwo na ya solve problem ni nyina no e de ama no pay ope eye no bena fie kira kwan a wo mo e wa blekoma salon bar stop e ho ana obe hu wacho wo mo ye adwuma free no pa 7:30 e de kosi enumre 5 pm from wo mo on 0246 108665 0246 108665 na wo de no bena fie eni enkomo ye nyina adamfo eye no bena fie adopay senen so se ochina obetimi ede ho ahye dwumadia na wo ma me besi na wonya appointment ni bi
ma me be
Senator Rollins ajima
Kwame
nana ede na koso appointment ya wo moye
yes Senator Kwame I'm told said definitely Obeko Health Ebia deputy minister. That's what I'm told because baby Edru ne de Kwame the weight of Senator Rollins Kwame to you the weight of Senator Rollins and I said 2-time member of parliament he said the 3rd time and then the 2 times in our Kwame trial position let's say ye bebe dru baby a ye dru dia na Senator Rollins na kabia wo a fatase Kwame be man substantive minister but say entimi amasa Kwame be sure say as a deputy dachi bi sere shafo ba you betimi amana ba be ya Kwame say substantive Kwame say you should go there and study say e buffer ho na Senator Rollins anya bibia Kwame chaos beba
ebe ya wanwan so
ebe mo gwanwa pa Kwame and a chaos beba and it will create something in National Democratic Congress. You see, these are some of the things that you have to watch. Kwame, encophobia didi, encophobia several,
encophobia 8 years now. In the opposition, what one be on one?
Kwame, me the ask of the crowd or the Kwame. Say a cast of me your man one cast. Kwame, you'll be Nidian so on yet a hardcore politician. kwa mo bi tie kire e no de ni sika eboa de make what you say and you want the pure public ethics your san kofo no ho and you want mo ya do omo ye public actors ne di omo ye adwuma so de bi che eti obi adwuma ho hia Kwame wa udu sika boa na wote air condition no obi so aye the middle in between the grassroots and mo amutu sika no ono no be on say on social media on the traditional media all the time defending the political party to come to power or take a bullet ye dinner time ye threaten especially so opposition Kwame ye di moto di kofochi and kofo timi na omu fie that people are there and you want kofo edu dia denia san kofo na ye do omu active cycle kofo say party kofo pe because udu sikaba na kasi ya organize rally na form for grassroots na ma party na gunu no
Omuka just want me organize mobilizing crowd.
Yes, party na gu because you the dom the cycle kofo Jamaica na beboa say udu sika boa no bi beka so radio so ne e catch we say oh asabia ba ye ko ye kokko age party no a Kwame di ono no te na condition ni sika boa no oh my hobby how many totobi kwashi did we see there how many your friend said hard castle why be for hard castle don't do who omo Kwame how many of them but understood say momomote air condition mu na mu da mu di sika boa say you organize demonstration ebia koja kra de babo yensa no kwa mo na mo to de ba etin sehwe but ye di na ya adwuma pe because ye bomb one shot no sha dem
me na koji
yes me na koji bullet no
ye two tear gas
pepper spray no me ho de call ye Kwame edi entina say ye appointment
say ye balance
edi entina me na me ye grassroots me cases osmasi e deserve an appointment na de bi omo so no omo do si kaboa no kwa na wo do obi ba si esom meti ase nye Miri sa don't the American asia because ye grassroots no Kwame obi ono ye grassroots wo mo doso omo ni na aka mo ti abom say ye ne tempatamu ha ye ne ti area ha this ayi we na de be serve ye sa osmasi na Kwame ki ehia no eye de na obi say ede na obi bi say ye fe de say no office no obetiem Kwame he bioti Kwame should BOT.
Uma BOT appointment. One, persons living with disability.
Yes.
You encourage them.
You're encouraging them. Yes.
What you
yes.
Communicators. You encourage them.
Yes.
What you say? Party for a work form.
Yeah.
You mobilize woman.
Yeah.
You encourage them.
Yeah.
So I don't know why up to now.
And you are also encourage and confire fed up with new patriotic party. And yes, Oba. Shadow NPP for the hour. Obi ono no ba be pre ye fe ne say a position. No ma koya gang e de tia ne say ofri ayi NDC ba ye nche. Ba NDC NPP NDC ntesa. Enti mu hye sa de no mu kina BOT abre Kwame. BOT abre no omo si omo te parliament kwa dodo say e de na cheche etimi cheche economic issues which BOT.
Exactly.
Kwame ka che one more take parliament. You need people try radio debate. You need more strength. The party do say and then to be church economic and you will church bright or do tachi. Na church 11 buy na abane enye ebe boy enye ebe boy everywhere you go you will see BOT.
So churches and
say Kwame what church him. The guy has taken a lot of bullets for National Democratic Congress. By this time, as chief executive, Kwame, your chief executive and your chief executive.
Exactly.
Kwame, your positions in a bit yes to see. Which we find nep and compare to my oil refinery. You understand? But BOT the enemy the fatano. You enemy the fatal BOT.
Kessben.
Kwame, mama home na so. Na panifu da kase hono mo a je bo bidia o da bi mu me ntwan kakra ne sa no man emwa
ni ayi na
dia frim enu omu ni na betime communicators forever BOT ne nkɔfo no ho ba bɛyɛ communication.
Exactly.
Why spend a lot of the very say a National Democratic Congress and you for why full soldiers why spend baby today omo be ki appointment no omo to no omo block nkofo yi no omo pomo kofo omo preferred candidate no nominees ni famra na BOT ni ho ne to aba within NDC for so omo akwa ba wini a adeda kwa me ya mo yesa
sad but to the area you be heard you be kwakosi
dabi ena appointment ni bi so
surprises in the doors.
Surprises in the doors. So come here. You call the Babu Fanchene. Share. A people determine say. Yet you better party office. Aye, meaning B.
Yes.
Was some power appointment. Metro party because baby a dia dina bedunu. John Mahama spent 4 years. Say ye kasi ye never power appointment. Ebiane Juma Yayano because the projection is 8 years and you're 4 years. So yen you decide to see a better a party office. I Juma Yama party. Come and say, but ya said your kind of appointment to me is surprising. As a for J.
Yeah,
baby, I didn't say secretary registrar. Look at this. Boy, sir. Adiama, Okwa Santa Roja, and you to know. Ubie follow NDC no manukontia se na wo obi a wo ya santini mapa eti kumase na se Kwame wo ka NDC asem a expose NPP psychologically it you need the minds of a lot of people Kwame
and as for did that
yes for 8 good years atem didie e bro Kwame bullet at Asafo J I take it German National Democratic Congress because Kumasi minimum side idea but because of that Asafo J choir register a here scholarship secretariat how
and I got actually about because
I mean yeah now you better have a do we always have to have a political godfathers as I the adiamo hey and party a
let us in Africa, upon Sir Johnny Tim, no, at the Medford action, no, at to us. We did the Kwame Appiah Kubi, Mr. Speaker, my name is African Ponzigan. And I answered
yes, I do it for 1 week. Because Kwame, hey, yes, I did not make NDC for now.
Party for the baby,
I'm telling you. No, my head, but
Monday, Metro. Yeah, of course. And to stay with us and the rest of our programs, enjoy the rest of your morning, and God bless you for joining us. I know paying so. Makramunyina, Kwame Appiah Kubi, Mr. Speaker, we are out.